So coming out of the USC game, you had talked about Khalil maybe not totally playing within the system. Did he do a better job of that against Oregon State?
Well, it wasn't that we wasn't playing within the system. It's just that we weren't sometimes you try to press a little bit, and you just got to let the kind of game come to you, take what they give you, and he did a better job of that in the second half. And then in this last game, he did a nice job of that from the start.
How much does running a similar system in high school help the transition?
I don't know if it was similar or he just did did the similar numbers. He was running around scrambling, and what you're seeing now is, he did it, but in high school, I don't know exactly this type of system he was running, but you could see that athleticism that he's showing now.
Oregon brought in Jim Leavitt to run their defense, and they're fourth in the conference in total defense, second in rushing defense. What do they do well?
He's done a great job. He's done a great job everywhere he's been. They're sound fundamentally, they're athletic, they're long, and they're playing really hard. And those are things I think you got to attribute to our entire defensive staff, but in particular Coach Leavitt's influence.
When things are going really well at West Virginia with Pat White, is it kind of similar to this?
Yeah, it kind of feels a little bit 10 years ago, or 12, 15 years ago. It felt similar that it was kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody saw, who is this guy? And then, we had some Steve Slate and Owen Schmidt and Noel Devine and some other fast guys in the backfield, and Darius Renard, who's a slot receiver, kind of like we had. And so it was fun to watch, and they got a chance to watch them do it for 4 years. And the good part about our guys is a lot of those guys are back for next year too.
It's fun to watch for you as well.
Yeah, no question. They're. You're able to almost limit your playbook more and just have a few plays they do well, and then sit back there and watch them.
You do the same thing
here. Yeah, you don't want to limit yourself too much because we can continue to add, but sometimes execution. I've always said execution is more important than a scheme, and we got to remind ourselves, coaches, of that.
We were talking the other day about Heisman campaign for Khalil for next year, but it seems like he's in the conversation already this year. Does that surprise you? Do you think that's kind of cool?
Yeah, it is surprising because he's, even the starter at the beginning of the year, that doesn't usually happen. But it's fun. I mean, I don't, there's other guys that are going to be way up there, and Baker Mayfield has done it his entire career. But, it's fun for the program, fun for Khalil, and we'll make sure it doesn't change who he is or how we do things.
Do the guys make fun of him at all? Or
I don't know. They probably tease him a little bit. They're probably trying to see if they can have an influence and vote and pump it up. And like I said, it's not going to change how we coach them and how we go about doing our stuff.
Were you guys piping in crowd noise in practice?
Yeah, we've done it. We've done it every time we've had a road game. But in this week, we've done a little bit more because it'll probably be the loudest venue we've played in so far.
How did playing at the Coliseum sort of compare? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it is. The Coliseum had a lot of people, but it's not as loud because it seems like the Oregon Stadium, just my couple of times up there, is more condensed and it's a little bit louder.
Do you have to do more nonverbal communication in that setting than
we do
you
a lot? We do a whole lot of nonverbal anyway. So it really wasn't something that's a big adjustment to us, but we've got to practice again tomorrow. If they can't hear the quarterback or they can't hear some of the checks, we got to have some answers for that.
Khalil seems like kind of a soft-spoken guy. Is he able to kind of pump up the volume, as it were?
Well, yeah, he's not a loud guy anytime, but he's a fun guy. So he'll be a little bit shy around you guys. That he'll around his teammates and all that. He's pretty talkative. He just shuts it down when you all ask questions. That's okay. I understand that part too.
What is your scouting report on Colin Schoolin's brother, Brendan, who's obviously a
he started last year as a true freshman on defense. He's a really good athlete, a very good athlete, and he's probably one of their best special teams players as well.
What do you think about the fact that Colin's going to be going up against his brother?
Well, he probably
possibly covering him at times. Or
yeah, hopefully not too much. You don't want middle linebackers guarding outside receivers a lot, but they'll probably run into each other at times. I don't know if they'll have something special to isolate the two, but I don't know. They're a close family, so their mom and dad are probably a little torn right now.
Do you have any concern whatsoever about this team feeling content or satisfied with their status?
Yeah, I really haven't, because we have still so much to prove, and that's kind of been part of our motivation. I think part of our guys' motivation since August camp is that every week is a chance to prove ourselves, and that will never stop.
It's been a while since you've played at Oregon. Is this another stop or another check on the redemption list?
Well, I think the last time we played up there, we won. Now, somebody reminded me the last time we played them, we got killed in the championship game. But it's definitely a venue that we haven't seen in a few years, and it's going to be really loud. And I think a lot of players, that like to go on the road where the people are into it, and they've got a great fan base, so they'll be into the game.
How's your relationship with Willie Taggart?
Yeah, I don't know him that well. I've met him a few times, and we've met over the Pac-12 meetings, and I think he's done an outstanding job. I also think the world of the coaches they had before too. Mark Helfrich, he's a close friend. I think he's a great coach, but they're giving Willie the resources, and they're able to hire a great staff. He's got a tremendous staff, and their facilities. I know some of you guys have seen them. Their facilities are. One of the best in college sports, period.
So obviously, some of the guys who were committed to you at one point ended up going to Oregon. I don't know if it's a media thing or a fan thing, that there's some animosity between the programs, but do you feel any of that? Is there any sort of
No, not
thing
really.
for
I mean, you're not happy that it happened. You're not particularly not happy because you see them and they're playing for them. So I guess we were recruiting the right guys. But they're playing for the other team. So, when we play them this week, obviously we talk about them and look at them from a football player standpoint. But outside of this week, all my concern is on the guys that are here in Arizona.
How rare is it to have a guy like Derek who kind of just drop in and is ready to kind of hit the ground?
Who's that?
Derek Bowles.
Yeah, he's when we thought that when we recruited them that this is an experienced guy. He played at a high level at Boise. He's a guy that was hungry to get a fresh start, and he's been terrific. And I think being able to have him again in the off season and get in shape and all that, I expect a huge year from him next year.